Now we have Jay Williams stepping forward with some strong words directed at Anthony Edwards, and the moment that sparked it is one that has genuinely divided the basketball world. With 8 minutes still remaining in Game 6 against the San Antonio Spurs, Anthony Edwards walked over to the opposing team's bench and started going down the line. Handshakes, daps, the whole post-game routine. The only problem, the game wasn't over yet. Now, to be fair to Ant, the deficit was significant. The Timberwolves were down by a large margin, and Edwards had clearly left everything he had on the floor throughout that series. People who watched him play know he wasn't operating at full capacity. The explosiveness that makes him one of the most electric players in the league wasn't fully there. He was playing through something, grinding through it, and putting his body on the line to be out there at all. For a lot of people, that counts for something. That speaks to his competitive spirit, and it makes it harder to question his leadership when you know what it cost him just to be on the court. But then there's the other side of the argument, and it's just as valid. 8 minutes is not garbage time. 8 minutes is a quarter of basketball, and the standard you set as a franchise player, as the face of the team, is that it is never over until that final horn sounds. If the starters have been pulled and the reserves are out there fighting, your job as a leader is to stand on that sideline and compete alongside them. Even if competing just means being present, being vocal, and refusing to let the team mentally check out before the clock hits zero. Because that's what culture is built on. Not the moments when you're winning, the moments when everything is going wrong and you choose to stay locked in anyway. So the debate is real and both sides have merit. Let's get into what Jay Williams had to say about it, and he brought up some notable names in the process, including Dirk Nowitzki and Blake Griffin.
Bruh, hooping and hollering, bruh. Y'all subscribe to Hooping and Hollering, quit bullshitting, man. Down here on the golf course, about to fly to New York, play some golf in the Hamptons, and I put on the Sports Center, saw Ant Edwards going down and shaking the hands with the Spurs during the game. Look, man, I'm a big Ant Edwards fan and all, but yeah, maybe I'm just from the old school, but I don't really get down like that. Maybe the games just passed me by, but yeah, I wish Ant would have just stayed on down there with the T-Wolves and took it in like he was supposed to. But he didn't. That's what he felt like he was supposed to do, and that's what he did. But yeah, I don't know if I'm rolling.
I've watched the NBA and been a part of it for a long, long time. I've never seen this. A guy walking into the huddle with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and dapping up the entire team. Too much for me. Obviously, you can do that after the game and show plenty of respect. That was a little strange for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I've never seen that before. I mean, I do like what he said, that he wants to give him respect, but I think you wait and you have to take your licks at the end of the game.
As great as Ant is as a basketball player, there's still some growth for him as well. Because as a leader, I would not have walked down there and shook their hand. I would not have walked down there and shook their hand with 8 minutes left in the game. As a leader of my troops and my guys, I would not show that weakness. The game is not over. I got 8 minutes left. I still got smoke coming out of my ears because I'm so damn mad we losing. Let me calm down for those 8 minutes since I'm not in, and then after those 8 minutes, I'll go down there and I'll congratulate them and their coaching staff. But in the middle of the game, when I got guys that have sat the bench and cheered me on, no, I'm gonna sit there and cheer those guys on. I'm gonna put that energy back into those guys, and then when the game's over, I'll go over there and shake their hands. So.
And here's where Jay Williams landed on it. He was clear about giving Ant his credit first, playing through injury, coming back early from his previous series, gutting it out against Denver when he wasn't fully healthy. All of that deserves recognition. Nobody is taking that away from him. But the handshake moment, Jay Williams couldn't get behind it, and his reasoning goes beyond just the optics. The San Antonio Spurs are not a team that's going anywhere. Neither are the Oklahoma City Thunder. For the foreseeable future, those are the two walls standing between Minnesota and any serious postseason run. They are young, hungry, competitive organizations filled with players who are actively looking for any mental edge they can find over the teams they'll face repeatedly in the years ahead. Walking over to their bench with 8 minutes still on the clock in a playoff game hands them something. It gives them a moment they can point to, a moment they can use. Jay Williams wasn't questioning Anthony Edwards as a player. He was questioning the timing and what it communicates, both to the opponent and to the people watching from Minnesota's own sideline. Because perception matters. Culture is built in moments exactly like this one. And when your teammates, your reserves, the guys still out there grinding through those final 8 minutes, look over and see that, what does it tell them? Williams also echoed a point that Udonis Haslem had raised, that losing has to genuinely hurt in the moment. You should be standing on that sideline steaming, barely able to contain it, counting down every second until that horn releases you. That visible pain, that refusal to accept defeat even when it's inevitable, is part of what separates good teams from great ones. Now, there's another theory floating around, and it's one worth considering. Some people believe Edwards wasn't sending a message to the Spurs at all. They think he was sending a message to his own front office. That walking over early was his way of saying, without saying it, I cannot win with this roster. Julius Randle is not a legitimate second option for a championship-level team. Sometimes, as Williams noted, you can say everything without opening your mouth. And honestly, when you look at what Minnesota is working with, it's hard to argue completely against that read. Williams flagged some significant roster concerns moving forward. He expects major changes involving Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, though exactly what form those changes take remains to be seen. He pointed to the absence of Dante DiVincenzo as a factor that genuinely hurt the team's spacing and perimeter shooting, the kind of floor-stretching presence that opens everything else up. Without him consistently spreading the floor and hitting shots in those explosive scoring runs he's capable of, the entire offensive system loses a dimension. Edwards himself was estimated to be operating somewhere around 65 to 70% of his normal explosiveness, visible to anyone watching closely. He was there, he was competing, but he wasn't the Ant-Man that makes defenses genuinely panic. Jaden McDaniels showed flashes of growth this season, but struggled when it mattered most in this series. Naz Reid, on the other hand, delivered. He held his own and gave the team real production, which raises a legitimate question heading into the offseason. Does he earn a starting role? Does the Julius Randle era quietly close and a new chapter begin with Reid in a more prominent position? There were bright spots in the supporting cast worth preserving. Ayo Dosunmu played solid basketball after being acquired from Chicago. Terrence Shannon showed genuine fight. He was one of the few players still attacking the rim and pushing pace, even when the deficit had grown uncomfortable. Those are the kinds of players you build around, not away from. Some of these pieces don't need to be replaced. They need time and the right environment to grow. Minnesota cracked the Denver Nuggets code when it mattered. That's not nothing. This is an athletic, young team with a real foundation, but the roster construction around their cornerstone needs serious rethinking if the goal is actually competing for a championship. As for that handshake moment, Jay Williams said it plainly. Stand there, take the loss, let it burn all the way to the final horn. Then go shake their hands, go to the locker room, and let that pain fuel everything that comes next. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.